Kia ora koutou. I'd like to begin by asking Alana to pause the timer while I set a few expectations. Anei he waia pūkoro. This is a mobile phone. You won't be needing it while I speak. Ori te kinga pepa hirihira, those important papers in front of you, you also won't be needing those. Ka tina kuroro hiko, don't use your computers. Those are not needed here either. On both occasions that I have spoken at these meetings, some of you preoccupied yourselves looking at phones and computers and very important papers, and looking at each other at times. May I remind you that it is your job to be here. As a community member, I take time out of my work day to come here. I expect to be listened to and treated with respect. And so you understand, we can treat it like the planning department at council with a consent application. Every time you break one of the rules, the timer is paused until things are corrected. Accountability. In watching the council meeting last month, it was obvious that no one in the room seemed to be completely clear about what the climate policy actually was, nor what the potential impacts of its development being stopped might be. And even when given the opportunity to pause and gather more information, you did not take it. I want you to know that while you might not think that local climate action and decisions are important, that those things are incredibly significant to the community you all serve. Many of whom have been through hell this year due to the extreme weather events, which we are told are likely to become more frequent. Your response last month was tone deaf. To assert that your power of rational and logical thinking trumps the experiences and thinking of others was incredibly poor. It is fair that this community want to know that this council takes climate change, action and decisions seriously. And you did not demonstrate a depth of care for that last month. This community wants local discussions and local solutions. Today's decisions around intangible work are tomorrow's outcomes. You are accountable to us for your decisions and actions. I've seen this time and time again in this council now. An unwillingness to budge on certain issues, even if the community is expressing its concern, because you have a preconceived idea and plan for your time here. You send invitations for speakers who support your way of thinking to counter the thoughts of your community. You search for ways to get out of your obligations to te tiriti. You make calls on things you know nothing of, like how to deal with hard-to-read reports, instead of proper consultation and receiving feedback from professionals in their field, i.e. mana whenua, graphic designers, AI experts. You make calls based on your opinions. It would be fair to say I should not be making decisions about concrete in this district. I know nothing about concrete. If I was to make calls about concrete, I would be using my opinion. Probably a bit of Google too. Maybe some feedback from online forums. But certainly I would not be using my experience. I know not to make calls about concrete. It is not my lane. Likewise, te reo Māori and how it is used in climate policy development and whether it is important, not your lanes. Expenditure, Yes.
You were 5 minutes ago. Thank you.
But gather information first. You're accountable to us for your decisions. It's my understanding that councillors are appointed to represent the community. Is that your understanding also? Yes? Councillors Howard and Williams, do you check your emails?
Karen, you've used your time, please.
I'm sorry, I am going to still speak.
You've used
No.
your time. You will not be speaking.
The last speaker went for 7
I
minutes.
don't care. You've used your
You
time.
have been kindly asked questions re last month's
You
vote.
repeatedly addressed this.
And neither of you have replied at all, have you? Neither of you. How do we as a community trust that you are here to represent us all when you do not engage with
Please
us?
terminate your
I will
presentation.
remind you
Okay, I will adjourn this meeting.
that you are accountable to us. You do. Then why have we not heard back from you? And how are you
Point of order, Mr.
representing
Mayor,
us?
this is completely out of order.
And it's
You've got
meeting is
a member
adjourned.
of the public attacking elected members.
Councillor Larson, I agree, and the meeting is now adjourned until Karen Hastings removes herself
At
from the
what
meeting.
stage? At
Please
what
remove
stage
yourself
do
from the
we?
meeting.
How do we hear from our elected members when they do not answer?
Thank you, Craig.
What are our options? What are our options?
Come on.
Is anyone going to answer?
With recent polling, it seems like we'll be